young boy from Jaipur, Dr. Roman Saini, has achieved 18th rank and made it to the IAS exam 2013 in his very first attempt. A doctor by profession, he is working as a junior resident doctor in the All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. His father is an engineer and mother is a homemaker. He is very fond of playing guitar and also has a certificate in the same. He was inspired to become a civil servant by the real rural conditions he saw during his rural posting in the village in Balabghad near Delhi.
What do you think about the change pattern of IAS main exam?
Recently UPSC introduced paper 4, which is called Ethics, Integrity, Aptitude. So this paper really helps you to gauge your conscience level. It helps because you need to relate to what your life has been through. They ask questions which are very close to one's heart, and it becomes very difficult to imitate someone else's thoughts in that particular paper. Earlier it was also used to mugging up facts from different sources and just replying them, like person in news, 2 markers. All these are like purely fact based question, which is not the need of the hour anymore, because the internet penetration is very widespread and any people just can, by click of a mouse, can know anything about those 2 markers. However, to answer a question in a case study in ethics is altogether different ball game. This is because you really need to evaluate all the options which are being provided by the UPSC to you. So what your inner self, what your inner conscience is made up of, it really gets reflected in the examination. So it's a good change. Plus the changes like making the essay from 200 to 250 marks is also appreciated, because essay you can write without any time constraint, because it takes about 2.5 hours to write the essay and you have 3 hours. So you really don't need to rush through the paper while you are writing an essay. So it helps a lot, because if it's 250 marks, like I got 145 marks in essay, so I can personally speak that essay I got ample amount of time to express myself. So that's a good change by UPSC. Plus the fixed answer sheets which are provided by the UPSC are also a step in the right direction, because the fixed space makes sure that you do not overstep the limit which is provided by the UPSC, and you always know that there are so many questions being left. So you just can't write anything, and the time constraint is very important. So that's a welcome change by UPSC according to me.
When did you start the preparations for IAS main exam?
See, I never prepared differently. Like there was no partition between mains preparation and prelims preparation. They are always collaborating for me. Even in fact, if I can include, the interview preparation is also along with the same lines. You can never compartmentalize prelims general studies and mains general studies. They are very much overlapping field. Of course, you can read for paper 2, you can solve mathematics questions which are not asked directly in the GS examination in mains, but you can never compartmentalize between these two. The simple reason is that the course and the syllabus are same. You have to read in struggle, not for the sake of answering the question in prelims or mains, but you have to study to get a holistic grasp of how our forefathers fought for our independence and what were the obstacles they faced through the process. So yeah, take about 1.5 years of preparation to prepare for the mains, and there is no separate preparation for mains. Just the fact that you need to practice answer writing. Yeah, that can I say that you need to practice answer writing. You can start as early as you want, but preferably 6 months before the mains commence and inevitably after the prelims exam is written.
How did you prepare the compulsory language paper?
If you are from an English medium background, you really don't need to study for the English compulsory language paper, which has to be given by each and every candidate. However, if you are from a non-English background, then I will suggest that you read basic English grammar. There are various books available. One by Renan Martin works like a charm. The paper was lengthy this time. They were asking 2 essays rather than 1, which was a practice from the past few years. So yeah, you have to focus on that, because if you do not get the necessary cutoff marks, your entire effort will be wasted. In fact, even if you are topper and you do not get success in English or Hindi, then your paper will not be evaluated. So you need to take care of that. As I have already spoken, that there was no specific preparation from my side as far as English was concerned. For Hindi, I refer to Upkar's Hindi book. That's a nice book. For all the Hindi medium people, you can try it. But for the rest of the India, I can't speak, because I do not know their mother tongue, which will be writing the exam. But I think that you should not ignore it, because about 10% of the candidates fail in the compulsory language examination.
What was your optional subject in the IAS main exam?
Me being a doctor and I have done an MBBS from AIMS, so I thought that I'll stick with what I've studied for past 5.5 years, so I chose medical science as my optional.
Which books did you study for medical science?
In MBBS, there are lots and lots of books. Not many doctors give this examination with medical science an option. If 16,000 people are writing, I don't think there are more than 500 people with medical science optional. But in fact, in case you are interested in knowing how to prepare for this examination, I have a list of 250 topics which I have prepared meticulously during my preparation. So you can check that out on my official Facebook page. You just ping me, you message me, I'll reply back within 8 hours. And you can always check videos on An Academy prepared by me and my good friend Gaurav Manjal.
What strategy did you adopt for medical science?
Frankly, if I speak in this interview for medical science, it won't be helping those people who are watching this video, because very few doctors give this exam, and in fact doctors are also divided that they take medical science and other optionals. So as I have already spoken, just go to romansaini.official on Facebook and log into my page. Just ping me on my page and I'll happy to help.
Do you think the educational background of the candidates has a direct relation in choosing the subject?
If you have prepared well in your graduation, I think you should stick with your optional. Otherwise you can choose any optional which suits you, which interests you. The most important criteria is that you should like what you read, because it will be a long, arduous, tedious journey, and it will not be easy to stick with an optional just for the sake of getting more marks or just for the sake that syllabus is small. So I strongly advise that choose only that optional. If you have studied well in graduation, fine, you can choose that optional. Otherwise, if you want to move away from any optional just for the sake of getting marks or just because the sake of syllabus is short or because coaching is available, I'll strongly recommend against it. So just choose what you like to study. It can be a graduation subject, it can be anything else.
What strategy one should adopt for Indian language, history, geography of the world and society in the IAS main exam?
For paper 1, it includes history and geography. So recently they have introduced a modern history concept. Start reading 7 to 8 core topics like Industrial Revolution and World War I, World War II, French Revolution, Italian Revolution, unification of Germany. These kind of topics, just go to Wikipedia, type the topic, you will get ample detail. Don't read all the details, just read the introductory part, jump from one link to another, establish a good understanding why Industrial Revolution happened only in England or something like that. So don't focus that much on part. 7 to 8 core topics will do. Like the question this year, it was asked from American Revolution. So if you just read the Wikipedia's introductory part and first or second paragraph that follows, you will be having more than sufficient knowledge to answer all the questions which come in the exams. For ancient history, I will recommend study NCERT. Old NCERT helps more than the new NCERTs, but it really doesn't matter if you can't get hold of them, because I'll be uploading shortly anyway. So read 11th and 12th NCERTs. And for the geography portion, G.C. Leong. G.C. Leong is a book it's a 25 to 30 years old book, but it still is very much relevant to the portion. And read NCERTs, 11th and 12th. Read from 6th to 12th for geography. It helps a lot. And always keep up to date with current affairs, like the website of Jagran, Josh, our own channel, my Facebook page. We'll be uploading lots and lots of regular updates. So keep updating yourself with that and you are bound to get good marks in paper 1. I got 97 marks.
What strategy did you adopt for General Studies paper 2?
Paper 2 of the GS this year, it contains politics and international relations. So for that, read Lakshmikant meticulously. That's strongly advisable. Join a test series, read test papers. After you are finished with Lakshmikant, you can always refer to NCERTs, 6th to 12th NCERTs of polity. Sometimes it also comes under the name of social sciences. For international relations, don't read a specific book because that trend has long gone. Read all the meets which is happening between Indian national leaders and other various national leaders. Always focus on crisis situations which are happening, like in my time it was Iran's nuclear crisis, Ukraine crisis. So whatever crisis comes next, focus on that. Don't focus on the previous ones. So that will help you a lot. And for international relations, there is a separate link on An Academy, so just follow that.
How did you prepare the social justice topics?
For social justice, no need to prepare separately. thehindu.com, just go to that website or read newspaper physically as it suits you, and just keep on reading newspaper for 1 to 2 months. You will gradually understand various social issues which plague our society. Like there is a women empowerment needs to be done, child marriages, dowry deaths. All these issues you can easily understand by reading Hindu newspaper, but understanding them and solving them are entirely different thing. So I'll try to solve them in my capacity as little as I can.
What was your strategy for General Studies Paper 3?
For paper 3rd, it includes economics, science and technology. For non-science students, I'll strongly recommend study 6th to 10th class NCERTs in science and 11th, 12th NCERTs also. But read selectively from 11th and 12th. As I've already spoken, read chapter number 9 and 10th of 12th NCERT biology. It helps a lot about biotechnology and all those things biology is utilized in our daily lives. And chapter 13 to 16 also helps in studying ecology and environment. That's a very, very important issue. Lot of questions are asked from that, and always keep on updating with the newspaper, because like in my time they were asking decision review system in cricket. So if you don't know what is DRS, if you don't follow cricket, the newspaper might help you with that. And we have an excellent section under an Academy for Science and Technology. I personally look after that, so you can just check the videos out. And in the economics section, don't read Datta and Sundaram. It's too huge a book to study for general studies. As I have already speaking, general studies means general studies. You don't need to be doing a in-depth study, but read Hindu's economic coverage of all the topics. Read economic survey meticulously. Always follow the budget. What are the underlying basic disclosures which have been done by the finance minister. Read India yearbook. It helps a lot with the economic section as well.
How did you prepare the biodiversity topics?
Chapter number 13 to 16, as I've already repeated myself, in biology helps a lot. 12th class NCERT of biology, it's all about ecology, environment, biodiversity. Read the basics from that. There are various species, threatened species. Go to Wikipedia, type IUCN and see the 7 lists they provide: critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, threatened. Read all the list, and whichever is relevant to India, per se, Western Ghats and all the other ecological hotspots. Keep a list of that and keep remembering again and again the lists from that thing. It helps a lot in biodiversity. Plus the recent Hyderabad pledge which happened on biodiversity, go through that also, it helps a lot.
What was your strategy for General Studies Paper 4?
I read the Lexicon book by Chronicle Publications. It's a very nice book. It helped me a lot with understanding the basic terminologies, what is the basic background of ethics. For case studies, try to solve as many case studies as possible. We'll be uploading lots and lots of case studies with the perfect answers provided to them, personally written by me. Whatever I have copied, I got 98 marks in ethics. So I think that I'll be able to write good answers, and once you practice those, just send me your answer at my Facebook page. So I'll return the ideal answer by consulting other toppers of the civil services examinations, and that will help you a lot in that. Otherwise, there is no particular book to study for case studies. And always be honest, truthful and upright, and have zero tolerance for corruption, because that will be reflected in your answers, and that is what the examiners of UPSC are looking for, an upright and honest officer.
What aspects should one highlight while writing the answers in the IAS main exam? Because now the number of questions has increased and the space is limited.
Just write a one-line introduction, that's it. Don't go on flowery languages, write in bullet points and give a one-line conclusion, that's it. Just jump directly to the question what is being asked, because you don't have more than 8 minutes per question, because there are 25 questions in total. So I shared a strategy on various online platforms and in the newspapers, which I call 987 strategy. So in first hour I attempted 9 questions, in second hour I attempted 8 questions, and in third hour I attempted 7 questions. So it gives you roughly about 7.5 minutes per question, because there are 180 minutes and there are 25 questions. So try to stick to that limit. Don't write much in those answers which you know very well, because all the questions carry equal marks, that is 10. So you cannot score 11 out of 10 just because you know answer very well. So try to answer as many questions as you can, preferably 25, but if not, at least more than 22 questions need to be answered.
How does answer writing practice help in IAS main exam?
It helps a lot. There is no denying that answer writing really helps. After all, it's all about writing answers. The marks in the prelims does not, cannot and will not decide your rank. Answer writing is a skill which needs to be developed over time. It cannot be done overnight. So start with the baby steps. Write something, write on anything which you like. Find your faults, make sure that you have a good vocabulary. Make sure that you write correct spellings. Make sure you leave ample spaces between two lines. You express yourself in minimum possible words. All of it will take time to develop. So yeah, start as soon as possible. But after giving prelims, don't wait for the results. Just assume that you will go through the prelims examination and start answer writing then.
What was your strategy for essay paper?
For essay paper this year, they increased the weightage a lot. Earlier it was 2300 marks the entire UPSC. Now it was just 2025. Out of that 200, earlier the essay was of 200 and now they increased it to 250. So that makes essay an indispensable part of your preparation. For 250 marks or for an optional paper or for a GS paper, you have to study for 4 months. But if you just focus for like 2-3 weeks, max 2-3 weeks on essay writing, it will fetch you wonderful marks which cannot be matched by any optional or GS. For example, I got 145 out of 250. So that's a wonderful score. I didn't get more than that in any of the GS papers, in any of the optional paper. I just got 154 out of 275 in interview. So you just can imagine I got the highest marks in essay for me. So yeah, you need to focus on essay, and for strategies, read the Hindu newspaper daily. Prepare your essay on 20 to 25 topics. 5 to 10 topics are always relevant, whether it was 1990, whether it was 2000, whether it's 2010. Those 5 to 10 topics are always relevant, but the current developments are always being asked. Famous quotation of people pick randomly, like Mahatma Gandhi's quotations, Jawaharlal Nehru quotations. Pick them randomly and write essay, extempore, overture, as much as you like, and then write to the point. Express yourself clearly, concisely, and write an essay about 1500 to 1700 words in 3 hours. That will give you a good strategy, and get it corrected by one of your friends, seniors or colleague. So they will give you a good feedback.
What tips would you like to give for essay writing?
For me personally, give a balanced opinion. Nothing in this world is black and white. It's always in a shade of grey. I'll be writing a post on just how to write an essay. Yeah, I'll do that within 1 or 2 weeks, so you can follow that on Facebook. Plus we will also be making a video, but for now, if you want me to say anything, just choose the essay which you know the most. Don't dwell too much. There will be 4 to 5 options. At my time there were just 4 options. I thought that I have to write on science and technology, so I just jumped right to it and I forgot about all the 3 options which were there. I started with an introduction. I wrote about brief history of development of science and how it affects the growth and development of a country, and how it helps in the enhancing and strengthening the security of a region. And then I went through the modern phases and then finally I wrote about the boon and banes of science in the growth, development and security of a nation. And then I ended with a conclusion which was quite balanced, neutral in opinion, and that saying that science is an indispensable part as far as security and development of a region is concerned, but it needs to be checked in other areas, like development of atomic bomb was threatening the security of entire world. So it needs to be done in a proper check and balances and regulations.
On what aspects should the candidate focus while preparing for essay paper?
While preparing the essay paper, see, there is no separate preparation for essay for 1.5 years. As I have already told you, 2 to 3 weeks of concentrated, focused effort is all it needed to get a high marks from 130 to 150. But always make sure that you write a balanced essay. Don't be too critical, too judgmental, don't be too extremist. Just write a moderate, well-opinioned, well-balanced and tilting towards what you think is right. But don't underestimate the other side at all. Give a balanced opinion, see all the perspectives from which the topic in question is affecting the lives of all the people. So the balance is the most important thing, and don't write more than 1600 1700 words, because these are more than ample words to express yourself and your opinion.
What suggestions would you like to give to the future candidates for IAS main exam?
For mains examination, start as soon as prelims is done. Just assume that you will make through. Even if you don't make through, it will help you the next year and the next from that, if you don't make in second attempt also. Prepare as soon as possible. Don't wait for prelims result. This year there will be just 3.5 months before the mains exam is due after prelims. So if you wait for exam results, 2 months will be wasted. And don't prepare prelims and mains separately. Prepare for 1.5 years. Both should be overlapping. Just prepare for prelims like 2 months before the prelims examination. Starting from today, it will be held in 2 months. So yeah, don't prepare them separately. Read daily meticulously. Join a test series if you can. If you can't, just download the test papers from our site and channel. So, and you can always message people who want to help you. I am there for you. So if you have any problem regarding preparation, you can just message me and I'll try to contact you within 8 to 9 hours as soon as I can.